fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the first wave of the brand new Turtles of Grayskull line from Mattel. So it is a mashup of Masters of the Universe and Ninja Turtles, which sounds like a lot of fun for me, having loved both properties for many years. We have the first wave is consisting of Donatello, Leonardo, Manatarms, and HeMan. Now this is a mutated HeMan, so I don't know if it's like actually the character HeMan that gets mutated and turned evil, or if it's like an evil mutant clone. I guess we'll find out. There are little comics inserted, so I'm excited to check that out. But judging by the packaging, it looks like the heroes have HeMan and Leonardo kind of in the upper corners. And then since this one has Skeletor and Shredder, I'm going to assume that this is supposed to be a villain. So again, I don't know if they corrupted the actual HeMan or if it's a mutant clone. We'll see. But either way, it looks really fun. I think this whole line seems like a lot of fun. Like I said, it's two properties that I've loved for a while, so I'm totally excited about it. Now, previously I did take a look at Mouse Jaw, which is Trap Jaw from this line, but he's been enhanced with like Mauser technology, which is really cool. I'll put the link to that at the end of this video, so if you can check that one out if you missed it. But I think this is really cool. I mean, the packaging is a lot of fun. Turtles of Grayskull done in the kind of classic MOTU logo style there. You have the rocks exploding, but instead of the like deep red and deep blue, you have this purple and green, which is kind of more in keeping with, Ninja Turtle coloring for their packaging, and also kind of like the ooze, everything being green in that regard. So I think this is really cool. The artwork on the back for these is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so this says right here, what happens when the most powerful man in the universe is doused with mutagenic ooze from another dimension? Nothing good with HeMan now, a mindless pawn in Skeletor's hand. Okay, so there we go. So there's our answer. This is a mutated, now mind-controlled version of HeMan, so that should be interesting. So we'll see how that plays out. But I also love this, like, slime pit done with, Shredder's helmet. Like, that is so fun. I don't know if we'll actually see a toy for that, but that's really cool. So the artwork on the back of these has been fantastic, and then you get the little cross-sell here with the rest of the first wave. So let's take a quick look at the back of the rest of these. Really amazing artwork here of Leonardo facing off with Shredder. Shredder's going to be in wave 2, and I'm actually really excited for that figure. That looks fantastic as well. Man-at-Arms here. This is Krang, and it looks like it's maybe like kind of like Whiplash's body. I don't think it's supposed to be a direct correlation to a character. It's just kind of done in that style, but that looks really cool. I love this artwork here. I think he's in wave 2 as well, but I could be wrong about that. And then last up, we have the artwork here for Donatello fighting Beastman. He's got this amazing samurai armor. This whole line looks like a lot of fun. So really excited for this. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here are the figures out of the packaging. Real quick before we take a look at them, I wanted to show off the little comic book that is included by The Power of Pizza, which I think is fantastic. And it shows them all kind of facing off against the mutated HeMan. And it's kind of a cool little story. I haven't read through it completely yet, but it looks like, a group, including HeMan, kind of go off to respond to some threat and don't show up. And then when Man-at-Arms and Teela go looking for him, they encounter Mouse Jaw, you can see over here, and then they kind of start to figure out what's going on, and the turtles show up to aid them. I don't love the artwork there for the turtles, but it's alright. And then they kind of, meet up, explain to each other what's going on, and then they kind of get, like, their new armor over here. They don't really, I guess, explain why they get it. But you can see here that they all kind of get new armor, which is pretty cool. And I guess Mikey looks like HeMan. He's the only one that we haven't really seen yet, because Raph is in wave 2. So yeah, he's even got a blonde wig on, so he looks like HeMan, which I think is kind of hysterical. And then it shows over here we got Skeletor and Shredder and Krang over here in Snake Mountain. And then they tease the mutated HeMan here at the end of the last issue. So pretty cool. I think that's going to be neat. I'll have to actually sit down and really read through it later. But I love the little mini comics that they do, and this one looks pretty great. And then it said that the next one is called Belly of the Beast Man. So I believe Wave 2 is Raph and Ram Man and Beast Man and Shredder. I think those are the 4 that are in Wave 2. So definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, so far this looks pretty fun. So let's go ahead and dive into these figures here. So we'll start over here with Leonardo. I have to say they look good. I really like the figures quite a bit. Now they have all these pads and everything that are not like molded on. They're just like frictioned on to the figure. I do wish that they were molded in. It's kind of my only complaint because they do slide down from time to time, but you can just kind of push them back on. But I think they look great. I mean, I really like the kind of turtle shell design to them. He's got this really big sword here, and I'm going to pop this out of his hand real quick. This is one large sword, or you can split it down the center, and it does come split apart already separately in the packaging. It's a little difficult to kind of find the seam to split this apart because it really does connect together very strongly. And I'm really having difficulty splitting this apart. Let's try over here. Alright. Apparently this does not want to split apart. There we go. So pop this apart. So you can see that there are 5 pegs on this side and then 5 peg holes on this side. But I think this looks pretty cool. I really like these 2 weapons here. I think this looks cool. And he can hold these pretty simply. Now the only thing is that because, you know, when they're split in half, they're not as easy for him to grip because they're not as thick, but he still can hold them. You just have to find a good spot. But yeah, so you can have him have 2 swords, or you can put them together. The other problem is the combined mode is kind of too wide to sit here. I wish they kind of had done 2 separate things so that he could have the classic, like Leonardo, you know, 2 katana thing going on there, but you could put one back there and have him hold one, but when it's combined, it's too thick to fit into this holster here, which is kind of a bummer. But let me put these off to the side here quick. But yeah, I really like the armor. I think that looks good. You have a little piece here with an L for Leonardo. You have this like turtle shell on the belt. All that looks pretty good. You got the blue tape down here. You also have this really nice fur, which I like a lot. And then you have the turtle shell. And for both Donatello and Leonardo, and actually I guess Manatarms as well, you can actually pop these turtle shells off. You can see that they peg in here. There's 2 spots. And then there's actually like a little shield holder here. So you could actually have him hold this as a shield, which is pretty cool. There we go. Now, it's a little weird to see the turtles pop their shells off because it's part of their anatomy, but you can use it as a shield. Like for someone like Man-at-Arms, it makes sense because it's just an armor piece. But yeah, you can do it for the turtles as well if you would like them to pop those shells off. They just peg into the harness piece back here. You kind of have to tuck this one underneath the fur and then peg it in. But it does peg in pretty securely. Not going to fall off anytime soon. So yeah, all in all, I think Leonardo looks fantastic. I really like the, you know, tails here of his mask. I will say that it almost feels like there's a film or something on this. Like, it's not a problem, but it's got kind of a tacky quality to the plastic. I don't know if they're making it out of something different. It's not a problem. It's not sticky, and maybe it's just something I need to get used to. But I don't know, it's got kind of a weird texture to it. But it still looks great, and I still really like this. I think they did a really good job. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, can look down pretty far, look up pretty far, tilt a little bit side to side, look side to side, no problem. You have a hinge here in the shoulder, as well as a rotation. You have a hinge and a rotation in the elbow. You have a hinge and a rotation in the wrist. You have a waist swivel here. You have ball joints in the hips. Some of them are a little bit more fluid than others, as I've been kind of going around the set of 4 here. You can kick very slightly forward, but pretty far out to the side. And then you have a hinge and a rotation here in the knee as well. And then you have a swivel at the boot, and then you have a hinge and a rotation at the ankle. But yeah, maybe you can, I don't know if this will show up on camera, but you can almost kind of see what I mean with the plastic. Like, it's just got this kind of texture to it that it almost, like sometimes with older plastic, you start to see this and it's like the plastic breaking down. This doesn't feel like that because it still feels solid and it doesn't like leave a residue or anything. But it's just kind of this weird texture. So I don't know quite what to make of that. But it's a good looking figure. I like it a lot. I mean, Ninja Turtles done in a kind of He-Man style is a lot of fun. My only real complaint for Leonardo is I wish the combined version of the sword could fit in the holster, because I like the sword a lot. Let me get him to stand here for a minute. And when you peg it all together here, I think it works a lot better. I mean, one, it's a full sword, so it just looks better, but also you get like a full handle here for him to grab onto. And it really snaps together very securely. But yeah, he can hold this so much better and get a much better grip on this than the two individual halves. I just wish that this would fit back here, and it just doesn't. I mean, you could try to mash it, I guess. All right, if I really push. All right, I guess if I really push, it kind of fits, but you have to stretch it out a little bit to make that happen. But again, all right, at least it fits. Again, there we go. So that's cool. I'm glad I kind of fixed that. I mean, I didn't fix it. I just had to kind of really smash it in there. But yeah, Leonardo, very, very cool. Let's move on next to Donatello. Donatello definitely getting, you know, Man-at-Arm style armor here, which I think is kind of cool. And I'll move He-Man to the side. I mean, I think they definitely are having some of the Turtles take parallels. Like, I would say Leonardo's kind of influenced by He-Man. Donatello here, definitely influenced by Man-at-Arms. And you can kind of see the similarities in their armor, which is kind of cool. But we'll come back to Man-at-Arms in a moment. So we have the helmet. You know, definitely a Man-at-Arms style helmet. I kind of wish the helmet was a different color. I know that's dumb because, you know, Donatello is purple. But I don't know. It just, with the mask also being purple and the you know, tails of the mask being purple, I don't know. Would I maybe have picked orange to match the staff? Or maybe even like a light brown, maybe? I don't know. Just some kind of contrast, because it's a lot of purple on purple, which again, I know sounds dumb. Maybe silver. Maybe just have it be silver to match the other accents. That could have worked, maybe. I don't mind it purple, but I just think if it was a different color, or maybe like the brown here to match this kind of tuft of fur, just something to make it pop. I think silver probably would have been the better choice to match all of this detailing, but in any case, same articulation as Leonardo, but I love the look of this. You know, he's got the shield here. He's got this little, I don't know, some kind of tank or something maybe. I don't exactly know what that is, but the silver. And also I think it's cool how they've continued the Turtles where they always kind of make them like different shades of green. And I think that really works. Like this shade of green really works well with blue, whereas this shade of green looks amazing with the brown, the silver, and the purple. I just think the color scheme for Donatello here really, really worked out. He's got this little armband here, which again is just kind of frictioned on there, but I don't really know what purpose that serves. But you do have some really nice armor here on the side, and then you have these two pieces down here on the shins. So I think they did a great job. Really love the detailing. His shell can come off and be a shield as well, just like Leonardo's. And then he comes with this version of Man-at-Arms staff here that has obviously been lengthened to be bow staff length, which is kind of cool. And there is another feature that I'll show you in a moment. Let's jump into Man-at-Arms here. So Man-at-Arms having kind of a samurai style helmet here, I think is so cool. I love that they've taken his like normal helmet and kind of updated it with this samurai style armor, which looks fantastic. I love that. Detailing here is good. He's got some turtle shell patterning here on the shoulder pad. This looks great. Some samurai style armor here on the belt. And then again, some more like samurai style with the turtle shell influence down here. Fantastic. He has all the same articulation. He also has the shell, which you can pop off. Now for him, obviously, it makes more sense because this is not part of his anatomy. So it would make sense for him to have a shield that he would wear on his back. And then can also use as a, you know, shield that he can grasp, which I think is kind of cool. All right, I'm going to move Donatello because I keep threatening to knock him over. So we go ahead and pop this in. like so. And then I popped it right back out again. There we go. So now he can have the mace weapon that he's known for, as well as the shield. I think that's really cool. And again, I love the fur. I just think that tuft of fur is such a cool detail, especially when you have it like over the shell, like when this is connected to the back. Just kind of tuck this up under again and then peg this in. I think that's such a cool look. I just really, really like that a lot. Now, the other feature that I was talking about, so you have a mace weapon for Man-at-Arms here, which is very similar to the kind of bow staff mace weapon combo that Donatello has. So you can see, you know, one is definitely longer than the other, but they're actually able to connect. So you can actually pop this in here and make one ridiculously long staff weapon that either one of them could use, which I think is kind of cool. And then you just pop it out again. It just very kind of simply clicks in. But that's neat. I think that's really cool. You know, if one of them wants to kind of throw their weapon to the other one and then they could kind of connect it together, do something cool with it. I think that's really kind of neat. But yeah, Donatello's is slightly longer. But I really think that's cool, just having them connect. It's just another little added feature that they definitely didn't have to do, but it's fun, and I like that they do that. And then, of course, you can pop this through the back here for Donatello if you want. Just like so. So that's cool. But yeah, Man-at-Arms looks great. I love the... It's kind of neat. Like, obviously, we're getting the Ninja Turtle characters in the kind of Masters of the Universe style. And then some of the existing MOTU heroes are either kind of getting, like, armor upgrades or they're getting mutated. So it gives you kind of possibilities for everybody. And I think that's really neat. I don't know if later on maybe they'll reverse HeMan's mutation and then give him, like, a cool upgrade maybe towards the end of the line, something like that. I think that could be cool. But moving on to the Mutant He-Man, he is really, really neat. So he's made out of this kind of translucent plastic. It's not like completely transparent, but it definitely has like translucent qualities. You can kind of see light pass through it. And then you have this amazing kind of paint detail for kind of, I don't know if it's supposed to be like veins or just power going through him. And then you have this hair. I mean, the red eyes, all of that is just such a cool design. You have this very Halloween-inspired harness here with He-Man and the spikes. I think that looks fantastic. And then he's got this kind of generic weapon. I think this comes with Spike-Ore, actually. I think this is Spike-Ore's weapon. Done in the silver to kind of match these gauntlets and the belt here. And you even have him, like, ripping his foot through his boot during the mutation. I think that's such a fun detail. That's the kind of stuff that, like, Playmates does a lot. And I like to see Mattel taking a cue from that. But you can kind of see down here how, like, it almost looks kind of translucent with the plastic. And then he's got a bandana down here as well, which is cool. So, very cool. I like this a lot. This is the kind of, like, new imaginative stuff that I really appreciate that they're doing. And taking full advantage of kind of the rules of the universe that they're collabing with. And I think that's really, really neat, and I like that quite a bit. So, really cool first wave, in my opinion. Articulation is great on these. It's very, very much built off the Origins kind of framework. In terms of, you know, the bodies and the articulation are very similar. I believe you can pop these pieces off. You probably could mix and match them with Origins figures if you wanted to. I don't see why not. But yeah, this is really fun. I mean, this is two things that I love, you know, crossing over and being done very well, in my opinion. So definitely looking forward to more of this line. Definitely looking forward to playsets and vehicles for this line as well. Really crossing my fingers that we get some playsets and vehicles for this. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. So definitely looking forward to the next wave. Definitely recommend these. I think I got these from BBTS, but I think they're also popping up on Amazon. I think they're also on like Entertainment Earth. I have not seen these in stores. The Mouse Jaw that I took a look at previously is a Target exclusive, but that seems to be the only figure that Target is carrying, which I think it's funny that they have an exclusive for a line that they're not carrying. So if you go to your Target, you'll probably find 2 pegs full of Mouse Jaw, and that's it. I tried to look in that area to see if they have like pegs set up, and they just haven't come in yet. They don't have any pegs set up. So I don't know if Target's going to get them later and have to make the space, or if they're just literally not carrying anything but their exclusive. So time will tell on that. But I think these are probably going to be best bet to find these online. I think Amazon or like a fan channel retail or whatever one you're comfortable using, I think is going to be your best bet for these. Probably Mattel will sell them on their Creations website direct at some point as well. So, you know, that's an option. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be finding these in stores, which also means they're probably not going to go on clearance or anything like that. I mean, Amazon, it's always possible, but I would say if you want these, probably just go ahead and snap them up. I can't imagine they're going to get too much cheaper, but again, I could be wrong. We'll see how it goes. I think I paid $20.99 a piece for these. Unfortunately, the price of Origins has just been going up the last couple years. I remember when they started at $14.99, and I thought that was a great price. And you know, just inflation and everything, prices have been going up across the board for toys. So yeah, Origins is kind of at the $19.99 price point, and these are kind of like $1 more. I assume because of the, you know, the rights to Nickelodeon, so they have to build in a little bit extra cost. But very, very cool. Definitely very happy with these. Definitely can't wait for Wave 2. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.